Sky Squad, we are back in the building. And why does it feel like Real Housewives of Atlanta is in trouble right now, baby? It feels like there is trouble in paradise. I mean, the hiatus has been very, very long. And even Potomac and Married to Medicine are back to filming before we get anything with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And now is Simon causing extra issues? We got a lot to talk about with Atlanta in today's video. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, join the Texan community. Also, be sure to like this video if you like reality TV related content. Now, with that being said, let's get into this jamboree. All right, first things first. The headline reads, according to our friends at the Neighborhood Talk, mind your business. Okay, mind your business. Porsha says that Simon is trying to ruin her Real Housewives of Atlanta career by requesting producers reveal her financial earnings and any conversations that they've had concerning him. All right. So, again, documentations from Radar Online have made its way to the public. Okay. Now, according to these docs, Porsha is saying that Simon is demanding copies of all her communications with Atlanta producers, including her contract, financial documents, is annoying, harassment, and oppressing. She says that she only wants this info on public record, that he only wants this info on public record to threaten her reputation, her career, and her ability to earn income. Okay. Now, we had previously talked about the Neighborhood Talk had brought out that, well, they reported that Simon didn't want producers filming in his mansion that he's been trying to kick Porsha out of, noting that she has her own house that she can live in. Now, at the time, I was like, well, I don't understand why she would want to live in that house anyway, considering that she wants a divorce from him. And if she's getting ready to start filming and may not want to mention him, why even, want to even stay there? I don't know. Could it have been that she leased out her house to somebody? I really don't know. But as of this report, Simon requested that True Entertainment LLC, which is the production company behind the Real Housewives of Atlanta, sit for a deposition and testify on Porsha's status and income as a cast member for 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. Now I'm like, I don't know if she's a cast member in 2023. Well, but she did appear on Ultimate Girls Trip. So that could be what he's talking about. Now, I don't know what the production company was behind that, though. Anyway, Simon also demanded all communication between his ex, her reps, and production about Real Housewives of Atlanta filming, recording, taping, storylines, and subjects involving Porsha and her relationship and divorce with him. Now, we told you guys earlier, too, that he had offered a $100,000 reward or award to anyone who can produce records of him cheating on any of his spouses from June 14th of 2019 through February 22nd of 2024. Now, they go on to state it appears that he's trying to protect his assets and reputation, but according to the old paperwork on him, he's committed marriage fraud and a plethora of crimes in his checker past. Now, that's what the report said. Okay. So, I mean, it's not really, it's here. Ooh. First of all, I wonder, is a lot of this holding up filming for the show? Because ultimately that impacts our viewing pleasure. But the other crazy thing about this is that so much of this is playing out on social media. It's like, would you even need this show at this point? Because we're getting the play-by-play as we speak, to be quite honest with you. So what story will be left to tell that we won't already know by the time they start filming? Or do you think that they should have just offered Simon a peach? But at the end of the day, could he even get a peach, a plum, a piece of bubble gum if he cannot even stay in the country? That's the question. So I really don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know the answers to any of this. All I do know is our friends over at Mr. Housewives are reporting that production for the new season of The Real Housewives is delayed due to casting troubles. All right. So we had talked before about Kenya and Porsha being officially the only two women who have signed on for season 16, as far as we know. And again, let me put the alleged badge up here because everything's alleged. Okay. So let's talk about what's stated here. All right. So they're saying that production possibly won't begin until the middle of summer because casting for this quote rebooted franchise has been harder than what producers thought. They're saying that some of the new women who producers thought would be great peach holders are now backing out and changing their minds. Okay. So the new alleged cast had been, or this is the rumors, Shamia Morton, Akila Coleman, Angela Reed, and Britt Eady. Now, allegedly, Shamia is not going to be a peach because her husband doesn't want to film. I had always heard that from the get go, so it was shocking to me that Shamia would have even been considered. Okay. But they say here a close source of hers told them personally this. But again, who knows if that was true? Now, also, Akila from last season, who was Kenya's friend, apparently there is something going on with the family. You guys can read that here, and so as a result, I can understand why she may not want to film. All right. Now, Britt Eady, who is Rick Ross's ex-girlfriend, they decided to make her a friend of, okay? And there's no status of what's going on with Angela Reed, who is married to Sheree's ex-boyfriend. So also there's no word confirmed about Drew and Sheree returning, even though, again, last week we saw Sheree basically say she gets what she wants. And it had been alleged that Drew was also going to be in the mix. So let me know what you guys think. I could definitely see this being the case, like summer 2024, a filming start date, because like all of this stuff that's happening right now should be being captured, right? This stuff should be being captured, and Real Housewives of Atlanta should be out in the fall. Period. Okay. Period. Full stop. All right. That's just my thoughts about it. And again, I do have to wonder how much of the assignment of it all has to do with the filming and whether or not it'll start, or if it's more or less the casting. All right. Speaking of Simon, I don't know if you guys happen to catch Candy on Watch What Happens Live. So she was asked if she was excited about Porsha returning back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. Shout out to our friends over at OMFG Reality TV for this bit of information. All right. So Candy is, she's asked, okay, what did you think? Were you excited and were you surprised by the divorce? Okay. So Candy was excited about Porsha coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. However, Comma.org, when asked about whether or not she saw this coming, she says, I mean, and I'm not, it's not, don't quote me verbatim, but it's kind of to the effect of not really. Okay. Yeah, she was surprised, but not really, because she honestly feels like oftentimes, she's tried to keep her distance away from, telling Porsha things about her relationships, because traditionally Porsha has not wanted to hear it. But she does feels like oftentimes Porsha moves too fast. I can definitely understand what Candy is saying. I felt like she did try to tell, Porsha about the dentist situation. And I feel like a lot of us felt like Porsha was moving into the assignment of it all so fast. And Candy even says, like, one day it's so crazy because we were seeing her post about being his piece. And then the next, it's like, oh, we getting a divorce. We were all surprised by this. Okay. Now, I don't know if we were as surprised once that news came out about him and things that had gone on in his past. But a lot of you guys had vouched for him and said, listen, these things happen way back when. So maybe she was willing to overlook those things. And then days later, we find out that she has filed for divorce. So I don't know. Okay. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Hop down in that good chatterization and let us know your thoughts. All right. Now, the final thing that we need to discuss is, speaking of the Real Housewives of Atlanta and filming, we had talked to you guys just the other day about the potential of Phaedra talking about what it would be like to film, or be around the ladies of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, while also confirming that she's filming for Married to Medicine. So clearly, Phaedra, is up for all the coins. And I feel like, well, why the heck not? That would be an unprecedented thing, but I think it would be interesting, right? So here we have a question that's being posed for Phaedra, right? Because as you guys know, Phaedra, she does seem pretty favored by the network, right? But she is also very, very close with Brandy Glanville. Brandy Glanville, who we know is literally, you know, uh, I believe that there's still litigation going on with her, and she's made claims against the network and Andy Cohen, right? So with those claims against Andy Cohen and with those claims against the network, it's kind of like, interestingly, Phaedra, who is seemingly favored by the network, is caught in the middle. Okay. So Phaedra, shout out to our friends over at TV Deets, happened to catch this bit of tea. Phaedra Park speaks on being friendly with both Andy and Brandy amid their court case, and I think that her response was very interesting. She says, "It's never going to be awkward because I'm always going to be honest and truthful. I wish people would have stuck up for me like I'm sticking up for Brandy," she tells Page Six. "A lot of times people are so afraid to say what they know is true, like the women on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And that happened to me. And they knew the truth. I'm ride or die for real. Because at the end of the day, man cannot promote me. Only God can promote me." I said, "Well, Lord have mercy." It's interesting. I feel like Phaedra taking a stand and it being an unpopular stance, potentially, with the network, or maybe even with Brandy at times. I feel like it's very, very interesting. But what I think is also very interesting is where she says, "The women on Real Housewives of Atlanta, that happened to me, and they knew the truth. I'm ride or die for real." I wonder what she means by "they knew the truth." Is she indicating to us that what happened, the way that it played out, is not actually what really happened? Because at the time, I don't feel like she denied it. So I'm kind of in the I'm kind of confused on that one. I felt like that little piece right there is the nugget that I'm trying to understand where she is going with that. Okay? And it's likely that we will never see that season of Ultimate Girls Trip, with everything that went down in Morocco with Brandy, and allegedly went down in Morocco with Brandy Glanville and Caroline Manzo. But what I can say is this: I mean, if it ventured into the place that Caroline Manzo is alleging, then I guess, really honestly, I don't want to see it. Okay. I am at the point now where, whoa, listen, if it feels like it's going to cause me some level of trauma, I don't necessarily know that I feel like dealing with it no more. And that's just what I feel about it. But anyway, let me know what you guys think that Phaedra is trying to say there. And do you believe her? Right? That's really the question right there. Do you believe her? Do you believe that the other women knew what was really going on and chose not to protect her in this situation? Let us know in the chatterization down below. With that being said, make sure you guys keep it locked to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell button. Make sure you guys like this video if you like reality TV related content. And of course, I will catch you in the next video.